Ryan Hale was a young human engineer posted on a small research moon called Eris 4. The moon was quiet, with soft blue soil and two pale moons always hanging in the sky. Most days were peaceful. The research base had only 20 humans working there, and most of them were focused on calm scientific tasks. Ryan liked the silence because it gave him time to work on machines and think about his future. The base had one special project that involved different species from other systems. Every few months, an exploration tribe visited Eris 4 to exchange information and share technology. They were known as the Lume, a gentle and curious people who traveled across many star systems. Their ships were smooth and silver, shaped like peaceful birds gliding through space. Ryan always enjoyed their visits. The Lume were kind, respectful, and full of knowledge about stars that humans had not even named yet. Ryan admired their calm way of living. During one of these visits, everything changed for him. Her name was Lyra. She arrived with the Lume scientific group, stepping off the silver ship with slow, graceful steps. Her eyes were large and bright, glowing softly like soft morning light. Her hair was long and fell like smooth threads of silver-blue color. Her skin was pale with a gentle shimmer, as if she carried a piece of starlight inside her. When she first walked into the human base, she scanned everything with quiet curiosity. She looked at the walls, the machines, the lights, and the humans working around. She did not speak much at first, but when she did, her voice was soft and calm. Ryan had been adjusting a power module when she approached him. "You are Ryan Hale, the engineer," she said in clear, slow English. Her people learned languages quickly. Ryan looked up, surprised by her presence. "Yes, that's me. Do you need help with something?" She tilted her head slightly. "I was told you understand energy systems well. Our ship has a small issue. It is not dangerous, but we want to fix it for full safety." Ryan agreed to take a look at it. He followed her to the silver ship and worked on the module. Lyra watched him closely, asking simple questions with calm interest. "Why do humans use this type of fuse?" she asked. "Because it is cheap and easy to replace," he replied with a small smile. She nodded slowly. "Your people always search for balance between cost and function. Mine search for harmony." "It is interesting." Ryan did not know why, but her voice relaxed him. Her presence felt gentle, almost peaceful. She was different from the Lume engineers he had met before. She seemed more curious about humans than about machines. After he fixed the issue, she thanked him with a polite gesture. "You are skilled. Many humans I meet rush through tasks. You take your time with care." Ryan felt his face warm a little. "Thank you. I try to be careful." That small moment began something unexpected. Over the next weeks, Lyra visited the base often. She said she wanted to learn more about human engineering, but Ryan slowly realized she enjoyed talking to him. She sat with him in the workshop, watching him fix tools or test new devices. She asked about human traditions, foods, music, and stories. She listened with full attention, as if every small detail mattered. Ryan found himself looking forward to her visits. He liked her calm nature. He liked the way she spoke softly, and the way her eyes seemed to reflect the light of the moons. She never hurried, never judged, and never interrupted. She simply listened. One evening, they stood outside the base together, looking at the two moons hanging close in the sky. The air was cool and the soil glowed faintly under the soft light. Lyra stared at the moons with quiet wonder. "Your moon sky looks like our home starfields," she said. "It feels peaceful." Ryan nodded. "I come out here whenever I need to think." She turned her head slightly. "Do humans think many things?" He laughed softly. "Too many sometimes." She looked back at the moon again. "My people believe every thought carries a small light. If you think with kindness, your path becomes brighter. If you think with fear, the path becomes dim." Ryan listened carefully. He always enjoyed the way she explained her people's beliefs. They continued walking slowly across the blue soil. After a while, Lyra stopped and looked directly at him. "Ryan, may I ask something?" "Of course," he answered. "Why do humans make long-term promises?" "I heard a human say he will return to his home after 10 years. Another said she will wait for someone. How can someone wait for so long?" Ryan took a moment before answering. "I guess it's because humans like hope. A promise is something to look forward to. It gives people strength." She nodded slowly. "It is a beautiful idea." Ryan tried to lighten the mood, so he spoke in a joking tone. "Well, for example, if I said we will get married in 5 years, that would be a promise too." He expected her to laugh. He expected her to treat it as a casual joke. She did not laugh. Instead, she stepped closer, gently placing her hand on his hand. Her touch was soft and warm. "In my culture," she said quietly, "a promise spoken under the open sky is sacred. It means the person is ready to link paths." Ryan froze. He had not expected such seriousness. Lyra, I was just joking. Humans say things lightly sometimes." "I understand," she replied, still calm. "Human words can be light. Lumi words cannot. Still, I heard your voice clearly." Ryan felt nervous, confused, and touched at the same time. He didn't know what to say. She did not look disappointed or sad. Instead, she looked thoughtful, as if she was considering her own decision. After a moment, she said softly, "Maybe it does not matter that it was a joke. The promise still has a path. I like the idea of meeting again after some time." Her eyes shined with gentle light. He tried to speak. "Lyra, I don't know where I'll be in 5 years. I will find you," she said simply. The next day, her tribe prepared to leave Eris 4. Their silver ships glowed under the morning sun. Lyra walked with her group but kept looking back at Ryan, who stood near the base entrance. Before boarding the ship, she walked to him one last time. 5 years, she said in a soft voice. Not one day later. Ryan nodded even though he didn't believe she would truly return. Then she stepped onto the ship. The engines hummed softly, and the Lume fleet lifted into the sky. Ryan watched until they became small lights in the distance. He stood there long after the ships disappeared, holding the memory of her calm smile. He told himself she would forget the promise. She would move on with her life. She would never return. What he did not know was simple. Lyra had already marked the date in her people's star calendar. She would return exactly 5 years later. Ryan Hale did not expect his life to change after Lyra left Eris 4. When the Lume ships vanished into the sky, he felt a strange emptiness inside him, but he tried to ignore it. He returned to his usual routine in the engineering bay, fixing energy tools and checking power grids. The base stayed peaceful just like before, but something inside him felt different. At first, he thought he would forget her in a few days. She was peaceful, kind, and interesting, but she was also from another world, from another way of life. Their time together felt like a dream, something too soft to stay real. He convinced himself that she would not think of him again. Still, every time he passed the quiet area where they walked under the 2 moons, he felt a small memory move inside his mind. Her calm voice, her soft eyes, her hand touching his when she spoke about the sky promise. Ryan told himself he was being foolish. She probably forgot the moment already. She probably returned to her tribe and continued her exploration missions. The universe was huge, filled with millions of paths. There was no logical reason for her to come back to a small human engineer living on a lonely moon. Yet the promise stayed inside him, like a small light he tried to cover. Months passed. Then a year, then 2. He moved to a bigger starport for a new engineering assignment. His new team traveled between human colonies to repair ships and help with technical training. He enjoyed the work because it kept him busy, and busy life pushed away quiet thoughts. Still, late at night, when he sat alone in a workshop or stood near a window looking into the stars, he sometimes wondered where Lyra was. He wondered if she ever looked at the same stars and remembered their promise. His teammates teased him sometimes. "Ryan, why do you stare into space like a lost poet?" One joked. He always answered with a small smile. "Just thinking about old things." He never told anyone about Lyra. It felt too personal, too fragile, like a soft secret he did not want to share. 3 years passed. Ryan became more skilled and more respected in his work. His team often relied on him for difficult repairs. He fixed broken reactors, guided new engineers, and traveled through peaceful human territories. He learned new things every year, and he grew calmer and wiser. Yet the memory of Lyra never fully disappeared. It stayed quiet in the back of his thoughts, never loud, never painful, just waiting. Sometimes he laughed at himself. She said 5 years. I don't think she meant it. He shook his head, telling himself he was silly for even remembering. 4 years passed. His team returned to the large starport in the Solarian belt. A peaceful, well-lit place floating above a ringed gas giant. Ryan liked this station because it was busy enough to distract him and quiet enough to give him space to think. He made new friends. He joined small engineering competitions. He helped with large machine festivals where humans displayed creative inventions. His life was full of steady work and steady progress. Still, late at night, sometimes a memory rose without warning. Her silver-blue hair catching the moonlight. Her gentle steps on the blue soil. Her voice saying, 5 years, not 1 day later. Ryan told himself he should move on completely. It was healthy. It was logical. She was an alien traveler. He was a human engineer. Their paths had crossed for a short time, nothing more. By the end of the 4th year, he convinced himself the promise meant nothing. He convinced himself she would not return. He even started to feel embarrassed that he ever believed she might. Then the 5th year came. Ryan felt a strange energy inside him as the date approached, even though he tried to ignore it. He worked longer hours to keep himself occupied. He cleaned the workshop more than usual. He fixed small things that did not even need fixing, his teammates noticed. "You seem restless," Sun said. "I'm fine," he replied. With a smile that did not feel natural, he was not fine. Something inside him kept counting the days even though he wanted to forget. When the 5-year anniversary arrived, he tried to stay inside the workshop the whole day. He forced himself to work on a broken data core. He told himself that Lyra was far away and would not appear. He told himself he was foolish for even thinking about it. That night, after finishing his shift, he walked to the starport balcony to clear his mind. The balcony overlooked deep space where stars twinkled like soft crystals spread across endless dark. The ringed planet below glowed with gentle golden colors. Ryan leaned against the railing, staring into the sky. He whispered quietly, "She's not coming." Of course she's not. He said it to end the last tiny hope inside him. He said it to finally let go. He took a deep breath and closed his eyes. At that exact moment, far away in the dark space behind him, several new signals appeared on the starport sensors. Dozens of ships entered the system in organized formation. They were smooth, silver, and shaped like peaceful gliding birds. The station system reported calmly, "Unknown fleet entering the Solarian belt. Energy signature matches Lumai exploration tribe." Ryan did not hear the announcement at first. He kept looking into the sky, thinking this night would end like any other. Then the balcony lights shifted slightly, signaling a new arrival sequence. Ryan opened his eyes and turned around slowly. Several ships were approaching the landing platforms. Their silver bodies reflected the ringed planet's light. Their engines hummed softly the same way he remembered from 5 years ago. His heart began to beat faster. He whispered, "No, this can't be real." But the ships kept coming. People around him gathered near the balcony windows, watching the Lume fleet descend. Many humans were excited, whispering about the arrival of the peaceful star travelers. Ryan stepped closer to the glass. His hands trembled slightly, something he rarely experienced. One ship landed first, then another, then a third, shining brighter than the others. He could not move. He could not speak. He could only stare. Inside the third ship, a young Lume woman stood near the door, holding a small memory crystal in her hand. She had counted every day for 5 years. She had traveled across many star systems. She had followed one promise made under a quiet moon. Her name was Lyra, and she had returned, exactly 5 years later. With calm steps, she walked out of the landing craft. Her eyes searched the crowd. Her heart knew who she was looking for. And somewhere across the balcony, a human engineer stared back, unable to believe what he was seeing. Their paths were crossing again, just as promised. Lyra stepped off the silver Lume landing craft with slow, graceful movements. Her travel cloak flowed softly around her, shimmering like morning mist. The moment her feet touched the starport platform, she lifted her head and breathed in the air of the human station. She had waited for this moment for 5 full years. Around her, members of her exploration tribe walked calmly, carrying crystal devices and softly glowing tools. Many humans gathered nearby, curious and excited to see the peaceful visitors again. Some recorded the moment, others whispered in wonder, but Lyra was not looking at the crowd. She searched for one face, one human, one promise. Ryan. She held a small memory crystal in her hand. It contained the sound of his voice from their nights on Eris 4. She had listened to it many times during the 5 years, especially during long travels. Her people never forgot important voices, and she had made sure his stayed close to her heart. Meanwhile, across the balcony, Ryan stood frozen. He could not move or speak. His heart beat loudly, almost too loud for him to handle. He had spent 5 years telling himself this moment would never come. Now it was here, he whispered, "Lyra, it's really her." His legs finally responded, and he walked quickly toward the landing platform. People moved aside as they saw his expression, confused but understanding that something important was happening. Lyra turned her head slowly. Then she saw him. Her calm eyes brightened softly, like moonlight touching water. She stepped forward with purpose, her movements full of quiet confidence. The distance between them closed one step at a time. When she finally stopped in front of him, she spoke in a gentle voice that carried both memory and certainty. "Ryan Hale, I have returned." Ryan swallowed hard. You really came back." Her eyes softened. "Of course. I said I would." His mind raced with thoughts. He wanted to speak clearly, but his voice trembled. "I didn't think you meant the promise. I thought you would forget." Lyra shook her head slowly. "Lumi do not forget sky promises. They guide our path." For a moment, they simply looked at each other. People around them watched, sensing that something meaningful was happening, but they did not interrupt. Even the soft hum of the landing ship seemed quieter. Then Lyra held out the small memory crystal. "I kept this safe for 5 years. It helped me remember your voice. It helped me follow the promise." Ryan gently touched the crystal, feeling the smooth surface under his fingers. His chest tightened with emotion. He never imagined she would actually return because of something he said lightly. "You crossed star systems. Just for this?" he asked quietly. She nodded without hesitation. "Yes, a promise is not measured by distance." Ryan felt overwhelmed. He was happy, confused, scared, and amazed all at once. He needed a moment to breathe, but Lyra waited patiently, giving him space to process the moment. Her calm presence steadied him. A soft chime sounded as the platform doors opened, and the Lume chief traveler, Elder Varun, stepped forward. He was tall and gentle, with silver lines along his cheeks showing his rank. He spoke in a respectful tone. "Lyra, we must register our arrival with the Human Command Office. Your chosen human may join if he wishes." Ryan blinked. "Chosen human?" Lyra responded calmly. "I will go soon, Elder. First, I must speak with Ryan." The Elder nodded and walked away with the rest of the group. Lyra turned back to Ryan. "May we walk?" Ryan nodded. "Yes, I think I need that." They moved through the starport corridors, walking side by side. Humans stepped aside politely, giving them room. Lyra observed everything with gentle curiosity. The lights, the machines, the uniforms. Ryan watched her closely, trying to understand what she was thinking. They reached a quiet observation hall where the glass wall looked out toward the giant, ringed planet. Soft golden light reflected off Lyra's hair. Ryan cleared his voice. "So, you really traveled here exactly on the 5th year?" "Yes," she answered simply. "Just because of the promise, because I wanted to honor it, and because I wanted to see you again." Ryan felt a warm pressure in his chest. "Lyra, I need to tell you the truth. When I said those words, I didn't know you would take them so seriously." She nodded calmly. "You were honest. I knew it was not a planned promise. It was spoken from a warm moment. That is why I held it close." Ryan rubbed the back of his neck nervously. "I thought I won't see you again. The galaxy is huge." "Yes," she agreed. "Yet I found you." "How?" he asked with surprise. She smiled softly. "Your name was in my memory crystal. Your location reports were available from human star logs. The galaxy is large, but not too large for a promise." Ryan laughed softly in disbelief. "Lyra, I don't know what to say." She stepped closer, her calm eyes meeting his. "Then listen. I do not expect an immediate answer from you. I only expect truth. 5 years have passed. You have changed. I have changed. So the question is simple." She took a small breath. "Do you wish to continue the path of the promise, or do you wish to end it with respect?" Ryan felt the weight of her words. She was not demanding anything. She was offering him a choice, a respectful and gentle one. He looked at her carefully. Her presence felt familiar, warm, and grounding. The same calm energy she carried 5 years ago was still there, maybe even stronger. I don't know what the future looks like, he said slowly. But I want to know you again. I want to see where this path goes. Her expression softened. Then the promise continues. They stood in quiet understanding. Just then, a group of young engineers passed by and whispered excitedly. That's the one! The alien girl who came back for human promise. Rian felt his cheeks warm. Lyra looked curious. Your people talk a lot, she said with a small smile. He laughed gently. Yes, they do, she tilted her head. Do their words trouble you? No, he said honestly. Just surprised, she nodded. Then you will get used to it. Many will talk. A human and a Lume walking together is not common. He took a slow breath. I can handle that. Lyra looked pleased. Before they could continue talking, an announcement came from the station speakers. All Lume delegates are requested to the main hall for the welcome briefing. Lyra turned to Ryan. Will you accompany me? It is your station, and I would feel calm with you there. He nodded. Of course. I'll stay with you. As they walked toward the hall, she spoke again. After the briefing, Elder Varun will request a meeting with you. In our culture, when a promise continues, the tribe acknowledges it. Rian blinked. Wait, your tribe wants to meet me? Yes, she answered simply. Why? She met his eyes with soft seriousness. Because they must understand your heart before they give full blessing to our path. Ryan inhaled sharply. That sounds important. It is, she said. But do not worry. You're honest and kind. They will see that. Rian was nervous, but her calm voice helped. They entered the main hall together, and many eyes turned toward them. Human engineers, Lume explorers, station officers, and curious visitors. Whispers filled the air, but Ryan kept walking. Lyra walked beside him with graceful confidence. Their reunion was no longer a quiet moment under a moonlit sky. It was becoming something larger, a path many would witness, a path that began with a simple promise and was now alive again. Ryan did not expect the starport hall to feel so bright and full of energy. Humans and Lume stood together, forming small groups, exchanging calm greetings and sharing information about upcoming cooperation projects. The air carried soft music from Lume crystal instruments, producing gentle tones that made the space feel peaceful. Lyra walked beside Rian with steady confidence. She greeted her tribe members with respectful gestures, but she stayed close to him, as if reminding him that this visit was not only about exploration. It was about the promise. Elder Virun, the Lume chief traveler, stood on a raised platform addressing both species. We thank the human starport for welcoming our tribe once again. We come with open hands and peaceful intentions. The crowd listened with interest. The Lume were well respected across many systems because they always traveled with kindness and a desire to learn. When the speech ended, people began to move toward different discussion tables. Ryan was about to step aside, thinking Lyra needed to join her group, but she gently held his wrist. You must stay, she said softly. Why? He asked. Because you are part of my purpose here. Before he could ask more, Elder Virun approached them. His tall figure and silver-lined face carried wisdom. He studied Ryan with calm curiosity. You must be Ryan Hale, the elder said. Ryan straightened. Yes, sir. You helped Lyra's team years ago. And you spoke a sky promise with her. Ryan felt his face warm. Yes, I did. I didn't understand its meaning to your people at that time. The elder nodded slowly. Lyra understood your heart even when you did not speak with full intention. That is a rare gift. Lyra looked away shyly, but her eyes carried quiet happiness. Elder Virun continued. In the Lume way, when a promise is revived after years, both sides must show clarity of heart. We will not force a path. We only ensure that both travelers walk with honesty. Ryan nodded. I understand. The elder placed his hands behind his back. Then tomorrow we begin the trials. Ryan blinked. Trials? Lyra touched his arm gently. They are peaceful. They test mind, trust, and patience, not strength. Ryan relaxed a little. All right. I will do my best. The elder bowed slightly and departed. Lyra turned to Rian with a small smile. You will not be alone. I will stand with you through every step. Rian felt a warm surge of relief. Then I'm ready. The next morning, the first trial began in a calm, circular room filled with low blue light. Lyra explained the purpose while they waited. This trial is called the Puzzle of Two Paths. We must solve a pattern by joining our ideas. It measures how well we work together. Ryan breathed slowly, preparing himself. A glowing platform lit up in front of them, displaying moving symbols. Ryan studied them carefully. They looked like star maps mixed with shapes. Lyra pointed to a section. These symbols represent harmony sequences. We must place them so the map becomes balanced. Ryan nodded. I think I understand. Let me try this side. They began working together. Ryan used logical thinking, while Lyra used intuitive understanding of patterns. At first, their approaches conflicted. Ryan tried to move pieces quickly, while Lyra preferred slow and gentle adjustments. He apologized softly. Sorry, I'm rushing. She shook her head kindly. No need for sorry. We learned together. They adjusted their pace. Ryan slowed down. Lyra explained more of her reasoning. Slowly, their minds aligned. The puzzle pieces slid into place, glowing brighter until the whole pattern formed a balanced star path. A soft chime filled the room. Lyra smiled. We completed it. Ryan let out a breath of relief and satisfaction. We make a good team. Yes, she replied, her eyes warm. We always did. The second trial took place in a small shuttlecraft above the starport. It floated quietly near the ringed planet, surrounded by soft light from the distant sun. This trial is about trust, Lyra explained. You must guide the craft with my voice only. I will see the path. You will follow. Ryan nodded and sat in the pilot's seat. Lyra stood behind him, placing her hand gently on the back of the chair. Turn left slowly, she said. He followed. Rise 2 levels. He did. The craft drifted through calm nebula clouds. Small glowing particles floated outside, creating a dreamlike scene. Now move forward 5 units, she said. Ryan trusted her voice completely. Her calm tone made him feel safe, as if she could guide him through any sky. Suddenly, a gentle tremor shook the craft. Ryan stayed calm, waiting for her instruction. Do not fear, she said. The path is still clear. Move forward. He trusted her fully, he continued. Soon the nebula opened into a beautiful view of deep space. The craft rested in the center of a soft golden glow. Lyra touched his shoulder lightly. You followed without doubt. The trial is complete, Ryan smiled. Your voice makes it easy. Her cheeks glowed faintly with gentle warmth. The final trial was the most personal one. It took place in a quiet garden room filled with soft plants from many worlds. Lume believed that truth shared in nature was strong and clear. Elder Virun stood with them. The final trial is the truth circle. You must share an honest story from your life, something that shaped your heart. Lyra looked at Ryan with calm trust. I will start, she stepped forward. When I was young, I was afraid of silence. I thought silence meant loneliness. My mother taught me that silence is not empty. It is full of space for understanding. After that, I listened to everything with patience. Silence became my friend. Ryan felt moved by her gentle story. Then it was his turn. He inhaled slowly. When I was a boy, I built a small machine that broke. I felt useless. My father sat with me and told me that failure is just a step. Every good engineer breaks things first. That moment taught me not to give up. Elder Virun listened, then nodded. Your hearts speak with honesty. The trials are complete. Lyra smiled brightly. Ryan felt a wave of relief and pride. They had done this together. Later that day, everything changed. A sudden alarm echoed through the starport. Security alert. Unknown small ships approaching. Possible raider group. Ryan rushed to a control panel. Lyra followed him quickly. He scanned the readings. A pirate group. They want to steal technology from your tribe. Lyra's eyes tightened with worry. We must protect the ships. Ryan felt a surge of determination. I'll help. He ran to the engineering bay and started activating defense systems. Lyra alerted her tribe to stay in protected areas. Ryan used his skills to strengthen the outer shields and redirect energy from less important sections. The raider ships fired small blasts, shaking the station gently. Ryan worked fast, sweating but focused. Come on, hold steady, he whispered. Finally, the shield stabilized. The starport guards chased off the raiders and the danger passed. Lyra hurried to him. Ryan, you protected us, he exhaled slowly. I just did my job. No, she said softly. You protected your promised path. Elder Virun approached, his expression full of respect. Ryan Hale, he said. Your heart has proven clear. Our tribe acknowledges the promise. Ryan's breath caught. Lyra stepped closer to him. Then we take the next step. Their journey was no longer only about waiting. It was moving toward something real, something strong, something shared. The city was quiet that morning, but not empty. Humans and aliens alike moved through the streets in an easy rhythm, a mixture of curiosity and calm that only the new era of cooperation could bring. Yet for Aaron, the city's bustle was just background noise. His mind was only on her, Lyra, the alien girl he had promised to marry 5 years ago. The thought that she would appear today made his heart pound like never before. He remembered that day clearly, as if it had happened only yesterday. She had smiled shyly at him, her violet eyes bright, and whispered, "5 years, I will return." At the time, Aaron had laughed lightly, thinking it a dream too wild to believe. But now, standing in the heart of the city, he realized dreams sometimes had a way of finding reality. The streets shimmered under the morning sun. Alien architecture merged seamlessly with human designs. Buildings of metal and glass intertwined with structures that floated, their surfaces glimmering in the soft light. People moved quickly, some on hoverboards, others gliding on anti-gravity lifts. Aaron walked steadily, scanning every face, searching for the familiar violet eyes. And then he saw her. Lyra stepped out from a crowd, moving with a grace that seemed almost impossible. Her violet hair caught the light, shimmering with streaks of silver. Her attire was elegant, flowing yet practical, and it spoke of a culture both strange and familiar. Time had changed her, yes, but in a way that made her even more radiant. Aaron's chest tightened and he stopped walking, unable to believe that she had really come back. Her eyes found him almost immediately. She froze for a moment as if unsure if he was real, and then a soft smile spread across her face. "The world seemed to pause, Aaron," she whispered, her voice carrying both joy and a hint of nervousness. "Lyra," he replied, taking a cautious step forward, then another, until he was close enough to reach for her hand. The warmth of her touch sent a rush through him, stronger than he had imagined. You came back," he said, voice breaking slightly. "I promised," she said simply. "I promised, and I never forget my promises." Aaron smiled, a smile filled with relief and wonder. 5 years exactly. "I didn't even know if—" She cut him off with a laugh, light and musical. I knew you would wait, Aaron. I could feel it." Around them, life continued. Aliens with multiple limbs, humans with augmented technology. Even hybrid children ran past in laughter and shouts. But for Aaron and Lyra, it felt as though the city had disappeared. They were alone in a bubble of time, a moment suspended, precious and fragile. I thought about this day every single day," Aaron said, searching her face for any sign of regret. "Even when things were hard, I held on to the thought that you would return." Lyra's expression softened. She reached up to touch his cheek, her fingers tracing a line that made his heart leap. "I thought about it too. Every day I wished for the moment we would finally meet again. I even counted the moons and cycles until today." Aaron laughed softly. "You really did count? You could have sent a message at any time, but you didn't." "No messages. Just the promise," she said, her eyes shining with sincerity. "Sometimes waiting is the only way to truly understand the value of something. I wanted to see if you would wait." "And you did." The words filled him with warmth. In that moment, he understood what the last 5 years had been for both of them. Not just time passing, but time building the trust and bond that only true connection could create. They walked side by side, hands clasped tightly, moving toward the central plaza of the city. The plaza was designed for gathering, celebrations, and meetings of all kinds. Today, it would be the place where 2 promises made 5 years ago would finally become reality. As they reached the center, a small crowd had gathered. Friends, colleagues, and curious onlookers from various worlds watched in quiet anticipation. Aaron had called only a few close friends, but word traveled fast. Lyra glanced at the crowd, a mixture of excitement and nervousness crossing her face. "Are you ready?" Aaron asked softly, his hand still holding hers. Lyra nodded. "I am ready, Aaron. More ready than ever." A gentle hum filled the air as a small device floated in front of them, a translator and ceremonial interface. It was designed to allow 2 different species to exchange vows and blessings in a way that honored both cultures. Aaron watched as Lyra activated it, her fingers dancing over the controls with a natural elegance. "Do you take this human?" the device intoned in a ceremonial voice. To be your partner and companion through all trials, joys, and adventures that life may offer? I do, Lyra said without hesitation. Her voice carried confidence, sincerity, and a warmth that made everyone in the plaza feel the moment's importance. The device turned to Aaron. Do you take this, alien? It asked. To be your partner and companion through all trials, joys, and adventures that life may offer? Aaron felt a lump in his throat, his heart racing as he looked into her eyes. I do, he said, his voice steady but full of emotion. I have waited for this day for 5 years, and I will never stop waiting for you. A soft light enveloped them, a gentle wave of energy that seemed to recognize the sincerity of their promises. Around them, the crowd erupted into quiet applause, respecting the moment. Aliens and humans alike smiled, some wiping tears from their eyes. It was rare to witness a union so pure, across worlds, across cultures, across years. After the ceremony, Aaron and Lyra walked through the plaza, greeting friends and companions. She marveled at the city, noting the changes, the growth, the ways humans had integrated with alien technology. He showed her his favorite places, the floating gardens, the library of interstellar knowledge, and even the small cafe where he often thought about her during the long years. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows and bathing the city in warm colors, they found a quiet terrace overlooking the horizon. The sky was a mixture of colors humans called gold, pink, and purple, but Lyra saw hues that no human words could capture. Aaron took her hand and pulled her close. 5 years, he said softly. I thought it would be long, but now it feels like no time at all. Lyra smiled, leaning her head against his shoulder. Time doesn't matter when what you are waiting for is worth it. They watched as the city lights began to twinkle, reflecting in the water of the nearby canal. Ships glided silently overhead, a mixture of human and alien craft, and the sound of soft wind carried across the terrace. It was peaceful, beautiful, and filled with the promise of tomorrow. Aaron, Lyra said after a moment, lifting her head. What do you want to do first, now that we're together again? He laughed softly. Everything. We have 5 years of stories to share, adventures to live, and dreams to chase. Let's start with just one step. Today we just enjoy being together. Lyra nodded, her eyes sparkling. Yes, together. And so they stayed there, hand in hand, looking at the horizon, feeling the warmth of the sun and each other. The city around them hummed with life, but they were in their own world. A world built from promises, patience, and unwavering trust. The stars began to appear as night fell, and Aaron pointed out the constellations that Lyra had taught him about years ago. She laughed softly, teasing him when he mispronounced an alien star's name. Their laughter mingled with the gentle night air, carrying with it hope, love, and the promise of a future that was finally here. 5 years of waiting had ended. 5 years of longing, of dreams and fears had culminated in this single perfect moment, and as they sat together, looking at the stars and feeling the rhythm of each other's heart, they knew that this was only the beginning. No matter how vast the universe, no matter how different their worlds, Aaron and Lyra had found each other, and nothing could ever take that away. The night deepened, the city lights reflected in their eyes, and for the first time in 5 years they felt completely whole, together, ready for whatever adventures awaited them, ready to write the story of their lives across the stars. And somewhere in the distance, a ship passed quietly, carrying messages to other worlds. But for Aaron and Lyra, the only message that mattered was clear: promises kept, love found, and the future theirs to create.